The greatest of my time in all sports hailed from CSKA. If we considered countries, the club of CSKA itself would be in the world's top 10.
Гордост, престиж.
Pride, prestige, CSKA was an emblem, the greatest club. For me, CSKA is the greatest club that could possibly exist. CSKA was, remains, yes, and will. Weightlifting has been one of the strongest disciplines in CSKA throughout the years. The Army Club has produced tens of champions in heavy athletics who brought glory to the club in Bulgaria at the biggest international competitions. Only at the Olympics, CSKA weightlifters have won 6 gold medals. CSKA was the biggest establishment then. The elite in all sports, I'm referring to weightlifting again, world and Olympic champions, have come through CSKA.
Естествено, горд съм в ЦСКА и тъй като аз бях малко в самата.
I'm proud that I'm in CSKA. I was in a military service for a short while and had already become an Olympic champion once by then. The respect of the leadership to me and all the sports people was great.
На ЦСКА беше голямо към мене. Не само към мене, към всички спортисти.
Undoubtedly the biggest contributor to the national heavy athletics is the legendary Nurir Nurikyan, twice an Olympic champion. He was later awarded the Order of Star Polina, first degree, and in 1994 was welcomed to the International Weightlifting Federation Hall of Fame. The first sport Nurikyan took on was basketball. However, his insufficient height prevented him from achieving success in the game. One day, Nurir, along with 2 of his friends, decided to go to the weightlifting hall, where he was noticed by the legendary Bulgarian coach Ivan Abadjiev. The coach's keen eye immediately saw Nurikyan's potential and offered him to start training with him. Everyone in the academy knew that we were privileged, but also that we had to give something to the club in return. After completing his military service, the weightlifter was accepted to the National Sports Academy, where Abadjiev was a coach. In 1969, Nurikyan achieved his first international success, taking the bronze in the European Championship and 5th place in the World Championship. In 1971, he won the silver medal at the European and the bronze at the Planet Championship. Unfortunately, while training for the national team for the 1972 Summer Olympics, Nurir broke a bone in his right wrist and was unable to train. Ivan Abadjiev's genius manifested, and he decided that Nurikyan was to squat with the weights on his shoulder only, without lifting the apparatus above his head. I am proud that I became an Olympic champion at CSKA. You can't avoid feeling it. It must come from the inside. Nurir Nurikyan managed to participate in the Olympics. In his category, USSR's Dito Shanidze was considered the favorite. The Georgian won at the throwing with a little lead against the Bulgarian weightlifter. Then, Abadjiev told Nurikyan that the one with the stronger character and clearer mind would become the champion. To win the gold, Nurir had to lift 157.5 kilograms, a weight he had never lifted even at practice, and which would actually be a new world record. Nurikyan went up to the podium and lifted the weight, earning his first Olympic title and the first title for Bulgaria in weightlifting. From the 2 movements, he achieved the record-breaking score for his category, 402.5 kilograms. Of course, the first win is the sweetest after you achieve some peak after you win the Olympiad. The second time you're preparing as an Olympic champion, and that's very big responsibility. After the Olympics, Nurir Nurikyan won silver and bronze medals at the European Championships without being well prepared. From 1976, the Sliven native returned to his category and won the European title. He won his second title the same year at the Summer Olympics, after which Ivan Bajir shed tears as his boy brought home Bulgaria's second weightlifting medal, which was fortunately gold once again. You can't be unhappy at CSKA. First, with the achievements you have made, with the titles that you took, with the years spent in military service when you were young, big, beautiful memories that will never fade for me.
Големи много хубави спомени, които никога не се запишат.
Another fundamental figure in CSKA's weightlifting is Andon Nikolov, who competed in the category under 90 kilograms. Everything is connected to CSKA for me. My life passed there. I started training there and completed my sports career there. I was also a coach there. All in all, my life passed here in CSKA.
Там не мина живота в ЦСКА.
His sports career started with a bang in 1972 when only in a few months he managed to win the gold at the Olympics and the World Championship. The media called him the unexpected champion. About his Olympic title in the unexpected champion, back then, Riger was the favorite. Everyone expected him to be first, but he caught a zero, as I have during competitions, and I became the champion. Chance, luck, but also lots of training.
Пък и много тренирах.
During his long career, Nikolov made 6 world and 9 Olympic records, and he also won 2 silver and bronze medals from the World Championships.
Олимпийската титла по принцип е върха, така че...
The Olympic title is the peak. Everything else significantly pales after it, and I had a few world records, one of them on powerlifting and throwing, and after that in Verona together with Riger, but he has 400 grams lighter than me and became first. I had quite a few throwing records, also in AA.
На изхвърлянето имах доста световни рекорди, на двубоя също.
After the end of his career, he was assistant coach of the national team for many years, led by the legendary Ivan Bajiev. And in 2004, he was elected president of the Bulgarian Weightlifting Federation, a position he occupied until 2007.
ЦСКА е моят живот, де факто, там е минало, така че...
CSKA is my life. I had the joy and luck to begin and end my career with CSKA. There aren't many people who started and ended their careers at CSKA.
От големите спортисти говоря, от тези, които са принесли за ЦСКА.
We are natural followers of CSKA, Nedelcho Kolev and I.
Които сме почнали първите си крачки в ЦСКА и сме ги завършили.
За първи път, когато станах световен шампион, европейски шампион и в годината станах и спортист на годината.
When I became the world champion for the first time, along with European champion and the sports person of the year, those are exciting moments. I was called to CSKA and awarded. They gave me, it's not a secret, I'm not hiding it.
Дадоха ни, което мисля не е тайна.
A gift that I still carry with me and show to my children and grandchildren. That is the gift from CSKA, a golden watch.
Го носа и го показвам на моите деца и внуци, че това ми е подарък от CSKA, един златен часовник.
Nedelcho Kolev began his career in CSKA, and to its end, he only lifted for the Reds. He was world champion twice and European champion twice in the category below 75 kilograms. He has numerous wins nationwide in his red uniform as well.
Първата, аз я спомня много добре до ден днешен, станах...
The first I remember to its day, I became the city champion. I became Sofia's champion for boys, and I will never forget that.
За юноши. И това няма го забравя. Когато станах майстор на спорта, най-младия майстор на спорта в България.
When I became a master of sports, I was the youngest master of sports in Bulgaria for the sport. It was a CSKA meeting with a Polish military club, whose name I can't really recall. We had this meeting during which I fulfilled the requirements to be called a master of sports, and from then on, I headed out to the big sports.
Не мога да си спомня името на клуба. И имахме една двустранна среща в София и на нея среща покрих нормата за майстор на спорта. И оттам вече тръгнах към големия спорт.
Nedeljkovac completed his competitive career at the age of 27 after winning bronze at the Olympics in Moscow. He also bears the title Honorable Master of Sports and Honorable Coach.
Много медали. Не само много медали, много слава.
Many medals, not only many medals, lots of glory. Lots of glory and recognition. I've been greeted at the airport by, I can't call it a crowd, it shows me bad manners, but many people with CSKA flags.
От хора, много хора. И то, нали, с плакати от ЦСКА.
A golden mark in weightlifting was also left by Yordan Mitkov, who won the gold for Bulgaria at the 1976 Games in Monreal. Unfortunately, this remained his only Olympic title because a case of hepatitis before the Games in Moscow put an early end to his career. For only a few years on the podium, Mitkov made 12 world and 3 Olympic records, and in addition to the gold in Monreal, he won the European Championship in 1979. In the 80s, CSKA's weightlifting found its new leader, Arsen Zlatev, who dominated the worldwide scene in the categories up to 75 and up to 82.5 kilograms. There were many responsibilities, and the result I had to be much stricter and I had to put in a lot more. I had to catch up with the elite competitors here. Back then, Arsen Zlatev was the leader in the national team in my category, Zdravko Stoichkov, and it was hard for me. Arsen Zlatev made his debut at the Moscow Olympics, where he became first. In the same year, he also won the World Championship. Gold medals from the European Championship followed, 1982, 84, 85, as well as silver, 1981, 83. A world champion in 1986 and a silver medalist in 1983, 85. Recipient of the Golden Kilogram Award, made 20 world records. Antonio also helped me a lot. Antonio Krustiv and Arsen Zlatev, even though I was his rival, he told me many things. It felt like he had the spirit and we were friends, all of us. Also Stefan Topurov and Nino Terziski. There was no feud. We went out together, we were a group of friends. We were not privileged or something, but CSKA's presence in the house was daily and public. CSKA had 3 or 4 coaches who helped Ivan Abadjiev. Neno Terziski in particular is one of the weightlifters who left their names written in gold in weightlifting's history. After graduating from the sports school in Russe, he found himself in CSKA's academy, after which began his ascent to the top. It was always a dream of mine to be one of the CSKA's players. CSKA was the great establishment, everyone's dream. Lots of requirements, lots of privilege. I was very proud when I landed a spot there. The entire national team has passed through CSKA. Arsen Zlatev, Neno Terziski, Topurov, many. As a competitor, Neno Terziski has 3 world championship titles, 1983, 85, and 87, and 4 European, in 1983, 84, 85, and 86, as well as 4th place from the Olympics Games in Barcelona in 1982.
Най-сладка ми е 1987 година в Острава.
About the titles, 1987 in Ostava is the sweetest for me. I achieved an amazing result in the category under 56 kilograms, 171 kilograms in the expulsion, which remains the best result to this day. 171 kilograms in the expulsion, which remains the best result to this day. This is 3 times my weight, and it makes me the happiest. CSKA gave us what we deserved. After every European or World Championship, they almost put us on a pedestal, meeting the big bosses, the awards. At the European Championship in Poland in 1991, Ivan Chekarov, who has won multiple other awards, became the gold medalist. Back then, I only had one powerful opponent, Slavomir Zavara. He was stronger than me, but he couldn't make it then. Maybe I pressured him psychologically, I don't know. I had already beaten him numerous times at the competitions, and he couldn't get over that. Although he was stronger, he missed his last try. Maybe only on a psychological basis. Other than that, he was very strong then. And he also got sick that evening, some sort of a mushroom soup. Was it because of that? Diarrhea, fever, nausea?
Вечерта, разстройство, температура, повръщане.
Two years later, Ivan Chekarov won a bronze medal at the European Championship, but in the same year, 1993, he reached the top spot in the world.
Да, това наистина беше най-големия връх.
Yes, this was my highest peak, but the other happy thing was that I defeated both of my rivals, who had been victorious over me previously. Both of them had already attained Olympic titles.
Равни начала, може да кажа. На каквото състояние бях
In
аз.
Australia, we started out equally. Whatever condition I was in, they were also in. So we met on neutral territory and I showed them what I was made of. To stand at the top with two Olympic champions beside you, both Russian, and to hear the anthem in your honor is the biggest possible pleasure.
Удоволствие, което можеш да преживиш.
The competition was fierce back then. There were about 4 or 5 equally strong competitors in each category who could play at the World Champions and become medalists. And the responsibility is very big because CSKA was not just some random team, now it's different, but it wasn't just a team back then. Almost all medalists from the Olympics in Seoul were from CSKA.
Фактически на Олимпиадата в Сеул, в общи линии почти всички медалисти бяха от ЦСКА.
Сеулската олимпиада, ЦСКА
CSKA brought in the medals from Seoul. Bulgaria was third in the world. Behind Russia and America was CSKA.
в света след Русия и Америка беше ЦСКА.
Винаги сме мислили и сме взимали от спорта това.
We have always taught and taken from the sport all that we could. We didn't watch where the others were going or what they were doing. We had our own task, and our attitude was like this: to represent our association, our country, our motherland at the high level.
Представяме нашето дружество, нашата държава, нашата родина на високо ниво.
This way, CSKA gave Bulgaria some of its best weightlifters, which bring the country worldwide recognition.
Когато се прибрахме от световното 84-та година световно първенство в Манила, Филипините, и където станахме.
When we came back from the 1974 World Championship in Manila, the Philippines, where we became the champion among the teams, not only I was the world champion, but so was the team.
Като тогава имаше такива купи за отборен шампион, дадоха една купа, която беше по-голяма от мен.
They gave us a cup that was larger than me. We barely dragged it down from the airplane to the VIP section of the airport, where we had a press conference. When we went out, it was crowded with people. None of them were from Levski. They were all from CSKA.
Там имаше една пресконференция, която дадохме веднага на ваши колеги, тогавашни. И когато излезахме навънка, гъмжеше от народ, т.е. тези, които са от София, са дошли от София, от Левски нямаше тогава, значи повечето са били от ЦСКА.
Today, weightlifting continues to develop at CSKA, with the focus being on young talents who should bring back the somewhat forgotten in the 21st century glimmer of the glorious sport.